Have you ever wanted to walk into a party, a wedding, or a New Year's Eve celebration in a dress that's jaw-droppingly stunning and handmade by you? I hope I made you curious, because today I'm going to show you how to create a dazzling short sequin dress that's perfect for absolutely any formal occasion. And not only you will turn heads, but you will also save money and gain the skills to make more amazing outfits for you and for others. And trust me, you're going to love this project as much as I did. So let's get started. So for this dress today, we will need, of course, the sequins fabric, which is 1.5 to 2 yards, depending on your body size and depending on the dress length you prefer to have. If you can find something that has a bit of a stretch to it, because it's going to mold beautifully to your body. You also need lining fabric, something lightweight like satin or silk to make the dress comfortable and follow the stretch of your sequins. You need a measuring tape, you need pins, you need chalk, invisible zipper, and also you need matching thread. I just want to share with you quickly why I'm so passionate about making my own clothes. So here, let's talk about the cost comparison. Obviously, we have the store versus DIY. So how much would the store-bought sequin dress cost? Obviously, as we can see here, on average, a nice one could run anywhere between $50, $50 to a couple of thousands of dollars, as we can see here. With this DIY project, you're looking at around maybe $30, but on top of paying a price, you will also look like a lot of other people that purchase the same items, especially trendy ones, the ones that have the highest amount of purchases on Amazon. But you also get some specific items that sometimes they prove to be a very bad purchase. And as you can see here, people can be extremely unhappy for so many different reasons. But most of the time speaks about the quality versus money. Talk about the way they fit. Talk about the way they smell when they receive them. Some of them were returned by others before and they were sold to other people. And so are you being disappointed like that? And how easy it is for you to learn all these skills and apply them over and over again, save money and look amazing. So let's see what the actual step-by-step process is to create this beautiful garment today. Generally, if you watch any of my videos, you know that every time I have an ensemble or I have something with lining, I like to cut, I like to drape all my layers at the same time, all my pattern pieces at the same time. Then I go and sit at my sewing machine and sew all the pattern pieces together. Then I go back and make the adjustments. Then I add the pattern pieces back together and all the layers together, and I apply the final touches to my garments. Today I'm going to work a little bit differently. First of all, I'm going to create the shell of this dress. I'm going to lay the fabric, and I just want to give you a little tip here. It's super important to cut sequins with very sharp scissors, and please make sure you go carefully and very slow. Sequin fabric can be a little bit tricky because the sequin can get in the way. Today I'm going to drape everything, so let's see how this is going to turn out. Let's talk about the pros and cons of making your own sequin dress. First of all, in my opinion, the pros. It's customization. You can choose the fabric, the color, the fit you want. Of course, the cost savings. Instead of paying hundreds of dollars for a fancy party dress, this one can cost you as little as $30. Sewing skills. Learning how to work with tricky fabrics like sequins is such a great skill, and once you master it, of course you can apply it as many times you want. The cons of this, it's time consuming. Sometimes if you're not really used to working with such fabric, it can take a little bit longer to get comfortable with. So it's a bit fussy to work with. No need for special tool. All you need is the same sewing machine, you need the needles, but on top of this you need a lot of patience. Sequins can jam your machine sometimes if you're trying to go too fast, so don't push that. Of course, it's also the trial and error. Working with sequins for the first time may result in few mistakes. Have extra fabric, fix those mistakes, consider this part of the learning process. The result is still going to be amazing. Videos like this can get quite long, and I don't want you to be bored. So obviously, because one other thing I love to do on top of creating new garments every day for myself and for my clients is to talk. And I always have a lot to say. So today I'm going to entertain you by telling you exactly how I feel about the high-end fashion, the price tag, and why I do not agree to pay none of it. When sewing sequin fabric, you will want to use a specialty needle like a size 70 or 80 or can even go 90 to glide through the sequins. You will notice sequins might break while sewing, but that's perfectly fine. Don't stress about it. It's okay. Just clean up any broken pieces and make sure your needle is sharp throughout. When sewing with sequins, you can use a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch, but everything depending on the fabric you are working with. If you do have woven sequin fabric, use a normal 2.5 to 3 stitch length. If you have knit fabrics, use a zigzag stitch or a serger. If you do have stretch fabrics, use a stretch stitch or a narrow zigzag. Now, let's take a moment to talk about high-end fashion and why those big iconic luxury brands are costing so much. We're actually talking about hundreds of dollars that most of us can't even afford. Even thousands of dollars if we think about it for just a dress or a jacket. But here is the catch. Many of these pieces are made in countries like China, Indonesia, Vietnam, where production costs so much lower than in the United States. I've experienced this with my own fashion line. So why are they charging such a premium price? But in my opinion, behind the price tag, it's a secret. First, there is branding and exclusivity. Luxury brands are all about image they create from the very beginning. High fashion isn't actually just about the material or construction. It's more about the status that you get by wearing these brands. So those companies invest heavily in very high-end marketing, obviously celebrity endorsements, and we all know how much money these people are making, and high-end profile runway shows. To put up a fashion show costs so much, but sometimes the results could be incredible. And obviously all these add up in the end to the price tag. Of course, there is the craftsmanship and the design. While production might happen in lower cost countries, luxury brands often claim that they invest in superior design and fabric sourcing. And so we just have to believe them. However, it is so important to note that some brands charge more, not necessarily because of the better quality, but just because the name of the label. So this is what you're paying for. You don't necessarily pay for quality. You don't necessarily pay for handwork or hand beading or any type of couture techniques. You just pay purely for their name they built in the industry and obviously the status they represent. So it is worth spending that much on a luxury piece made in China or Vietnam. And I think that comes down to you, what you want to do with your own money. But my short answer is it depends. If you are buying for the craftsmanship, sometimes you might get a well-made piece that could last for years. But in many cases, and I've experienced that myself, you're paying only for the brand name, for the prestige, for the exclusivity, for the status. And so many of these items are marked up significantly, way beyond their actual production costs. And a lot of the markup, it's about keeping the brand in a luxury market and not necessarily giving you a better product. And we also know most of the people in fashion industry, like Michael Kors and Victoria Beckham and other names, they are beyond rich. So this is where your money are going. And so, in my opinion, in the end of the day, much of the money we spend on these luxury pieces isn't necessarily going towards a superior craftsmanship. It's most likely going towards making these brands even richer. And so they are relying on that sense of status and exclusivity to justify their pieces. So while it can feel good to own a designer item, think carefully about whatever you want to invest your money in. If you are investing in quality, or you're just helping the brand maintain its luxury image and make that designer or that fashion house even more rich than they already are. So it's entirely up to you, in my opinion. But to me, it's 100% not worth my money. So just to recap what we've created so far, firstly, we drape and cut the fabric. We sew all the pattern pieces together. We follow absolutely the same steps with the lining of this dress. So we created 2 separate dresses, which we're going to end up attaching them together, and make sure the right side of your lining is going to face you and your skin and your body in order for you to have a very nice clean finish. After that, insert the invisible zipper, hem the dress with this beautiful ruffle, and you are all done and ready to wear your beautiful dress. And there you have it, your very own custom-made sequin dress that's perfect for any special occasion. Whether you are wearing it as a wedding guest or to a New Year's Eve bash, you will shine, knowing that you are the only one with that kind unique creation. So make sure to check the links in the description for all the materials you need. You will be surprised how easy and cheap they're going to be. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more sewing tutorials. And also be sure to check out all my playlists for the amazing DIY clothing project. But for now, happy sewing. See you here next time.